Eben Byers was a wealthy and influential industrialist in the early 20th century. Born in 1880, he lived a life of privilege and extravagance, enjoying the finest luxuries that money could buy. However, it was a series of events that unfolded in his later years that would earn him a place in history, though not for the reasons he might have ever imagined. In the 1920s, Byers had developed an unusual and dangerous habit. He had become enamored with a health tonic called Radithor, a product that claimed to harness the power of radium to cure ailments and promote vitality. This radioactive elixir was touted as a miracle cure by some, and Byers, eager to maintain his youth and vigor, began consuming it regularly. For several years, Byers consumed Radithor with unwavering dedication, convinced of its health benefits. He became a walking advertisement for the product, which was heavily marketed to the public. It seemed that his wealth and influence had blinded him to the very real dangers of radium exposure. As the years passed, the effects of Byers' dangerous habit began to manifest. He suffered from severe weight loss, excruciating pain, and a host of mysterious health issues. Yet, he remained steadfast in his belief in Radithor, even as his condition deteriorated rapidly. By the time doctors realized the extent of the damage, it was too late. Eben Byers had become a victim of radium poisoning, a condition so rare and horrifying that few had ever witnessed it firsthand. His jaw had disintegrated, and his bones were riddled with tumors. Byers was a mere shadow of the robust man he had once been. In a desperate attempt to save him, doctors performed multiple surgeries, but it was all in vain. Eben Byers succumbed to the ravages of radium poisoning in 1932 at the age of 51. His death served as a chilling reminder of the dangers of unregulated medical products and the power of greed over reason. Even in death, Eben Byers left a haunting legacy. A shocking photograph of his exhumed remains showing the grotesque effects of radium poisoning. Omyra was just a 13-year-old girl living in Armero, Colombia, when tragedy struck on November 13, 1985. The Nevado del Ruiz volcano, which had been dormant for over a century, erupted with a fury that no one could have anticipated. A torrent of mud, rocks, and debris, known as a lahar, descended upon the town at incredible speed, engulfing everything in its path. Amid the chaos and devastation, Omyra became trapped in the debris, pinned down by concrete and rubble. Her legs were trapped beneath a collapsed wall, and she was unable to move. Her cries for help echoed through the wreckage, but there was no one who could reach her in time. Rescue efforts were launched, but the magnitude of the disaster was overwhelming. Helicopters and rescue teams struggled to navigate the treacherous terrain, and the world watched in horror as Omyra's ordeal continued for days. She was trapped in cold, muddy water up to her neck, without food, clean water, or medical attention. As the hours turned into days, Omyra's condition deteriorated rapidly. She suffered from exposure, dehydration, and gangrene. The rescue workers were faced with an impossible choice. They couldn't free her without causing further harm, and there was no way to drain the water around her. They were trapped in a race against time, knowing that Omyra's chances of survival were slim. The world watched helplessly as Omyra's strength waned and her spirit began to fade. She spoke of her family, her dreams, and her desire to live, even as her body succumbed to the relentless torment of her predicament. Journalists and photographers captured her plight, and her image became an enduring symbol of the tragedy in Armero. Finally, after 3 agonizing nights of suffering, Omyra Sanchez passed away on November 16, 1985. Her death was a poignant reminder of the horrors of natural disasters and the devastating impact they can have on innocent lives. The shocking photo that captured Omyra's final moments is a stark and haunting testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable suffering. William Uttam, a talented artist known for his evocative paintings, became the subject of a truly horrifying story that would grip the art world and serve as a chilling testament to the devastating power of Alzheimer's disease. Born in 1933, Moland's life took a tragic turn when he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's in 1995. In the early stages of the disease, Moland continued to produce remarkable art, capturing the subtle nuances of his everyday life. His works were characterized by a vivid blend of realism and introspection, reflecting the artist's deep emotional connection to his own deteriorating mind. However, as the disease progressed, so did the profound transformation of his artistic style. Moland's later works were haunting and disjointed, a reflection of the growing void in his memory. The deterioration was relentless, and with each passing year, his self-portraits revealed the horrifying erosion of his identity. These paintings were windows into the abyss of his own mind, showcasing the bleak descent into a world where memories were disintegrating, one brushstroke at a time. The true horror of Moland's story lay in the final self-portrait he created in 2000. The once vibrant artist now portrayed himself as a faceless, amorphous figure, his features dissolving into an abstract blur. This painting, unveiled to the world, served as a shocking and poignant representation of his complete loss of self. As William Moland's health deteriorated further, he became unable to recognize even his closest loved ones, including his wife, Patricia. His art, once a means of self-expression, had become a mirror reflecting the unrelenting torment of Alzheimer's disease. The horrifying climax of this story is the photo of Moland, taken just before his death in 2007. In it, we see a frail, elderly man, his face a haunting void of emptiness. The photograph, when juxtaposed with the self-portraits he had painted over the years, serves as a stark reminder of the relentless progression of Alzheimer's disease and the devastating impact it has on individuals and their families. William Moland's story is a chilling and heart-wrenching reminder of the fragility of the human mind and the power of art to capture the most harrowing aspects of the human experience.